An unplanned Instagram live today. This will be available on here, and then we'll pull it onto YouTube and make it available to you after that as well. Some of the things we'll talk about, we can come back and get to independently, but there's a lot going on and I wanted to share it. We made some simple notes, mostly for my benefit. The first one is simply thank you. Everyone's struggling everywhere. So are we. A lot of places have gone under. A lot of places are running on fumes. We are facing a lot of challenges just like everyone else, and some different than everyone else. But we're all right and we're going to be fine. And a lot of that has to do with not only people buying things and kind of tangible support, but just great notes all the time, talking about how valuable what we're doing now is and how valuable it is now compared to even 6 months ago or a year ago or something like that. None of that is taken for granted, and we appreciate every single message and every single one of you. Many people's entire training framework has changed. It's changed for us in some ways, but in other ways it really hasn't. We've had a lot of passion and a lot of focus on helping people train elsewhere and with very little for a very long time. Our remote development resource, the Subversive fitness site, is excellent, well-groomed, and has been in the works for over 10 years. If you're training independently on your own, or even if you're experienced in training, there's a ton of value to that thing. We do an assessment process where we look at everybody's foundational movements and then we turn them loose on the process itself. There's a ton of value to that. The programming that is contained within there is not available anywhere else. Some of the accessory programs that are contained within that Subversive fitness site are not available anywhere else. And we just wanted to encourage and re-encourage you to seek it out, take a look, ask questions when you have them. Subversive Fitness is the website. It's very easy to find on all of our things. And to those of you that are already participating, thank you so much. The feedback has been great. The progress has been great. The visuals have been great. I mean, it's incredible. It's only going to get better. But the way that it's going to get better is people propagating it. In any of my careers, in any of my pastimes, I've never been the type that felt the need to stand on top of the building and beat my chest with everything that we're doing and everything that we think and everything that we believe. We like to share what we do. We like to share our thoughts and concepts on things that are helpful to people. But one thing that I've learned, and I guess been taught the hard way, with where our culture currently is and the dysfunction within it, is that actions and words speak, unfortunately, too close together right now. We live in a world where actions speak louder than words. That's the world that we want to live in, and that's the world that we're going to get back to. But one thing that I've been noticing, and I take this fault 100% on myself, is that some of these unfortunate situations that we've been put in over the last year or so, and many of you that take a look at us know what we're up to in those regards, but we've lost some considerable things. We've lost things that we've had a lot of passion for and spent a lot of time for in the interest of helping people. Kids, access to our equipment, access to helping people in all levels of athletics and in all levels of training in general. They've been undermined by people that enjoy judging books by their covers, but never actually opening that cover. What I believe that I've been guilty of is not saying as specifically as I should have things that we do believe and have fought for our entire lives. Racism is not something that's even a factor in my life. We've helped everyone that we possibly could in every manner, way, shape, or form since the beginning of my training career, my career in BMX, my career in hardcore. The things that I've been involved with since I was young have no tolerance for racism. There's no place for it. It doesn't wear well there. It doesn't exist. It doesn't live. It gets squashed, and we've helped squash it. But somehow our feet on the pavement contribution to that is not enough. And we are still targeted by that all the time. And even this week again, attempts have been made to harm us in very considerable and very important ways to me by saying that we're neo-Nazis, white supremacists. It's insane, of course. It's gross. But it creates fear, and that's where our culture is. People hear things that make them scared. People hear things that make them want to turn away, and they do. Our recourse, our rebuttal is you. We don't ask for much. We need help making sure that people that need to know it know what we are and who we are and what we do and what we've tried to do for you. We don't hide anything. We don't veil anything. We're open source to the point where I think it's actually to our detriment. And I'm learning the hard way that sometimes you just have to beat a drum a little bit louder, even if it feels clunky or obvious. For those of you that have been impacted by that kind of thing as well, either on our behalf or totally separately, all we can do is apologize and say that we're living the exact ways that we believe we should be living. We discriminate against no one for any reason, never have and never will. Everything that we do is a meritocracy. If you want to work and you want to help other people, you're friends to us. If you want to harm others, verbally, physically, digitally, you're our enemy. That's it. Those are the only lines we draw. And we need your help in keeping them hard. This snuck in there. I'm not sure. Someone else must have written this. Something else to complain about, and then we'll lose it, is when you're small like us and when you say things that require more than one sentence of reading or that may create a tiny bit of polarization in opinion. Right now, everything squashes you. Social media has squashed us. They dangled the carrot well. For a long time, we had a lot of access to people. And the interaction was great. The circulation was great. People with more followers or more reach than us would repost us or help us share. And their people would come to be our people. That's how it was working, and it was great. That's not the case now. We're harder to find the better we get at what we do. So again, it helps fall on people that help us, people that want to help us, people that appreciate what we do. Share. If you find something you like, put it out there. Our information is your information. There's going to be things that we keep behind the scenes because it's valuable and it's important to do so. But anything that's out there right now is out there because we want people to see it. We want it to help others. It's helped us, and we want to pass that on, and that's the end of the story. But we need your help. We need your help doing that. I'm just going to go ahead and admit that I don't know how to say that. So we're going to make one because I think it's valuable. And a lot of what we do in class, a lot of what we do in private training people, a lot of what I do independently with writing and consulting and things like that, are very, very valuable to us, and we want to put a small price on them so we can continue to share them, but also continue to thrive as a brand. If we get stuck in the mud too far, we're not going to be able to contribute the way that we want to contribute. Our platform is never going to be behind a paywall. It's just not what I want to do. And realistically, when I get some giant underwriter, nothing will be behind a paywall. We'll give so much away that it'll make everything else everyone is doing look like a joke. But right now, there are things that we want to share, both with class operation, some technical details, some concepts that we aren't quite comfortable putting completely for free on the site without some context. And that's what we're going to do on that paid site. I think there's going to be a $5, a $10, and a $50 a month one. And rest assured, just like everything else that we do, they're going to be extremely thorough and worth any money that you're willing to contribute. And also something that we can help ask you to share on our behalf with full confidence, knowing that it's going to be the best quality product we can offer. It's a question we ask ourselves every day, and one that we need to propose to you guys. A lot of what we do is a lot of what we show. We train people, we help people. I talk to an awful lot of people all over the world and help people in those regards too. But when it comes to brand development, what's next? What's landing? What's not landing? What do you want to see? I have 1,000 of those verses in there. They're going to keep coming up on the Instagram stories if people like short little snippets like that. The convergence after action reports are exciting. We enjoy them. There's more where that came from. If people want more of that style interaction, we can do it. We just have to know that that's what's landing and that's what people are interested in. Technical details always go well. We always just want to make sure we give the proper context. And sometimes, I'll fully admit, if I'm neck deep in negativity, it's tough to come across like I'm not. And I never want to take advantage of our audience or do any less than our absolute best job. So when it comes to what's next, make suggestions if you have them. Not right here because I can't see that thing, but send them to us in any of the other platforms that we have. Either email via the websites, even direct message here on Instagram. Sometimes I get a little behind on that because we get a lot of off junk in there, man. And it's tough to sift through. But if you send something, please let us know a couple of times and we'll be sure to get to it. And we always appreciate all opinions. we always appreciate almost all opinions. On to some positive stuff. We consider everyone that supports us an agent. We love it. It kind of helps us feel connected to people around the world because our local reach is much, much smaller than our global reach. But with some of the people that are really kind of putting their asses on the line and helping us in every way they possibly can, we wanted to formalize that agency. So Dan Collar, professional BMX bike rider. Brandon Lilly, professional at a ton of awesome shit. Mark Entenberg, professional Muay Thai kickboxer and just a professional nice ass motherfucker. And Matt Heafy, one of the most incredible guitar players in the world, band leader for Trivium. Those are the first four that we have. And part of the goal in that, since we're smaller, we have a smaller reach than all those people, is just to help their audience connect with ours and to start turning our audience into theirs. All the projects we're working on with them are collaborative and they're going to start small just like everything else, but they've got legs and it's because these people are relentless. They're masters of their craft already, and it's only going to get better from here. So we wanted to thank them. We wanted to highlight them, and we wanted to share a little bit more about that. We put a post up on it a couple of weeks ago, and we'll be doing updates to that frequently. We enjoy it, and we're very grateful to them. This is a big one. Our chapter in Toronto is a year old this month. Talk about a first year. To see them thrive and grow and see those amazing people up there using our methods, sometimes pulling our quotes, clearly paying attention to what they're doing, clearly helping each other and supporting each other. The public assistance project running in the park up there, there just isn't anything to say about it. If you're in Toronto and you haven't at least engaged with that group, you're making a mistake. If you're anywhere else in the world and you're looking at what we're doing and you haven't followed them and started appreciating the effort that they're putting into everything that they're doing, you're making a mistake. And think about if your first year in the fitness business was a few months of getting your feet wet and then over 6 months of having your dick knocked in the dirt by your government, and you still manage to succeed and thrive, that speaks volumes. So, infinite praise to Matt and everyone that's there, that took the risk, that's kicking ass, and this is just the beginning. That may seem obvious to many of you. It's obvious to me. I was reminded of just how important it is, however, end of last week. Last Friday, I was involved in an unavoidable violent incident that ended up more severe than any violent incident that I have ever been a part of. Any of you that know anything about me know that that is a high bar. I'm not a bully. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm the opposite of those things. I truly believe that the only reason that I'm standing here talking to you right now is because, as we've often said, I refuse the notion of falling to the level of my training. I want to rise to the level of my training when the occasion arises. It arose last week. I'm here to safely tell you about it. I just want to remind you all that there is no such thing as wasted training time. Improving your physical performance, improving your mental acuity, improving your martial skill set. Every single second, every single minute is worthwhile time spent, because you never know when it's going to save your life or someone else's life. Thank you to the people over last weekend that really helped me with some stuff. I'm not going to mention their names. They know who they are, and it was more valuable than they could possibly know. Improvement is one of those things that we force with force. Anything that is truly important to you, we do not chance to chance. I wanted to end with that because it's very important in considering our physical practice. As I just mentioned, it's very important in considering your martial practice and your mindset. And it's very important in how we look at caring for others and how we present our information. There are things to chance, and others to force with force. We appreciate all of you so much. This will be available to watch again if you'd like it. If anything in here really rung a bell and resonated, then we'll sit down and talk about it independently. And thank you so much to everyone that pays attention to what we're doing and contributes in a positive way. We'll see you again soon.